Welcome back. Black Bag is a new spy drama movie starring Pierce Brosnan, Cate Blanchett, Michael Fassbender, Naomi Ackie, and is directed by Steven Soderbergh. This movie is essentially about two intelligence officers who are married, and one of them, the wife, Catherine, played by Cate Blanchett, is suspected of betraying the country and essentially being a leak in the organization. And how is this happening? Michael Fassbender, her husband, is essentially trying to figure out what his wife is doing. Is she a leak? And is he going to ultimately stay with her, be loyal to her in their marriage if she is? Or is he going to be loyal to the country and betray her and turn her in if she is, in fact, the mole? That's what this movie's about, and it gets pretty crazy. This movie was really cool. It was a modern, sexy kind of spy movie. It really felt like whodunit Clue in the setting of like a modern James Bond. But instead of focused on the story and everything this one character is doing with the action, Black Bag takes a little bit more of a reserved, subtle approach till the final act, which I really liked. This movie is not just centered around the husband and wife, George and Catherine. It's also about their closest friends who are also colleagues of theirs that all work in this spy organization. Naomi Ackie is essentially the therapist. You see what's going on with her. She's having a relationship with another one of the guys who's a field operative. There's a couple other people involved that are kind of crazy. They're having this weird relationship. And the movie opens up with kind of these intense dinner scenes where the two main characters are having a dinner party at their house. And you're really just kind of seeing how crazy these people's lives are. And they don't really trust each other, at least most of them. And you kind of just don't get a clear picture of who's who, what their intentions are, or what's really going on. And so you really start getting invested in these characters and their lives, and you start wondering what's going to happen. You see the story unfold, and you kind of see the setting and everything start to take root. Michael Fassbender's character is essentially starting to run recon and surveillance from satellites on his wife, and he's trying to figure out what she's actually doing and if she is intending to betray everybody and essentially betray the nation. And I won't give anything away, but I really like the way this movie ended. There was a cool kind of rising tension as everything builds up. Again, it's kind of a spy drama whodunit, where you're really trying to figure out what's going on, who the bad guy or multiple people is, and what are they actually doing. There's this kind of all-powerful nuclear weapon device that's kind of like this hacking device called Severus, and that's what the movie is really about. And it's essentially who is leaking this, and it's a huge national security threat and actually could cause a global nuclear crisis. So it's obviously a big deal. So as the movie unfolds, you're really just focusing on these few, 5-6 characters, their interpersonal relationships, and you're starting to wonder who's who, who's actually the mole, and what's going on. And again, it kind of comes full circle. And the ending of the movie, which I really liked, and I thought they did a great job with, it comes back to the beginning, and they're having another kind of dinner party, but there's no food and there's a gun. And one way or another, you know that no one is leaving this house until they have all found out who is actually the killer and what's going on. So at its core, this movie was really about trust. In that question you would have to ask yourself, if you were a spy and you were also married to a spy, would you be able to be loyal to your spouse above all else? Would you die for them? Would you hide a secret for them? Possibly the biggest secret ever. Would you risk everything? Or would you be able to do anything for them no matter what? That's really what this movie's about, and it does a great job. I did not see what was coming at the end. I actually had a couple theories, and both of them were wrong. I really like the way this movie ended and kind of the climax leading up to how you actually figure out what's going on and who the culprit is. It was really well done. Overall, I thought this movie was pretty solid. The pacing was great. It wasn't too long. I thought it really kind of held your attention in a pretty captivating way. The cinematography, the lighting was beautiful. I really liked all the little details, the lighting, the main house and the offices. It really just had that like sexy modern spy movie. And I really liked just the little details of how it was done. I would really recommend this movie to pretty much anyone. I think if you can appreciate a good spy movie, if you like a drama, if you're ever a fan of the 007 movies, I think you'll kind of find this a nice blend of those different genres. The actors do a great job. I always love Michael Fassbender Fassbender, Cate Blanchett. I think they're fantastic. Pierce Brosnan takes a little bit of a backseat, but again, seeing the classic 007 in this movie in a different type of role, I thought he did a great job, and I really like seeing him on the screen as well. That's going to do it for this review. Have you seen this movie? What did you think about it? Stay tuned for more. Thanks.